Cyrus the Great, the founder of the mighty Persian Empire, stands as a colossal figure in ancient history. Most know him as a conqueror of nations and a builder of empires. Fewer know that he achieved all this without being able to read. Cyrus lived in a time when writing was a relatively new technology, the preserve of scribes and priests. That he could forge an empire stretching from the Aegean Sea to the Indus River without ever deciphering a single written word is astonishing. It speaks to his charisma, his strategic genius, and his ability to unite diverse peoples under his banner. Cyrus II of Persia, better known to history as Cyrus the Great, was born around 600 BCE. His birthplace was Persia, a region in southwest Iran. He inherited a lineage of kings, but his destiny was to far exceed his forefathers. Through military prowess and shrewd diplomacy, he transformed his kingdom into the largest empire the world had yet seen. The Achaemenid Empire, named after his ancestor Achaemenes, became a model of efficient administration and cultural tolerance under Cyrus's rule. Cyrus's rise to power was not a straightforward affair. He was born into a world of shifting alliances and constant warfare between the different kingdoms and empires of the Near East. His own grandfather, Astyages, was the Median king who ruled over much of Persia. According to the Greek historian Herodotus, Astyages had a dream that his grandson would one day overthrow him. Fearful of the prophecy, Astyages tried to have the infant Cyrus killed. This story, though likely embellished, highlights the aura of destiny that surrounded Cyrus from a young age. Undeterred by his grandfather's attempts on his life, Cyrus grew up to be a powerful and ambitious ruler. He united the Persian tribes under his rule and challenged the Median Empire. By 550 BCE, he had defeated Astyages, his own grandfather, and conquered the Medes. This victory marked the beginning of the Achaemenid Empire and Cyrus's extraordinary career of conquest. He incorporated the Median soldiers into his own army, a testament to his political acumen. He understood that true power lay not just in military strength, but also in the ability to win over the loyalty of conquered peoples. From his new power base in Persia, Cyrus looked west. He set his sights on Lydia, a wealthy kingdom in Anatolia ruled by the famously rich King Croesus. The Lydian army was renowned for its cavalry, but Cyrus's strategic brilliance and the discipline of his soldiers proved too much. In 547 BCE, after a short but decisive campaign, Cyrus conquered Lydia and added its riches to the burgeoning Persian treasury. Cyrus then turned his attention eastwards, consolidating his control over the Iranian plateau and expanding his empire's borders to the edges of Central Asia. He led campaigns against the nomadic tribes of the steppes, securing his empire's eastern frontiers and opening up trade routes to the east. With Persia secure and his eastern borders defined, Cyrus turned his focus toward the most powerful empire of the day, the Neo-Babylonian Empire. In 539 BCE, Cyrus's armies stood before the great city of Babylon, the beating heart of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Babylon, with its towering walls and magnificent ziggurats, was considered impregnable. But Cyrus, a master of strategy, devised a daring plan. He diverted the course of the Euphrates River, which flowed through the heart of the city. As the water level dropped, his soldiers marched along the riverbed, entering Babylon under the cover of darkness. The city fell with barely a fight. Cyrus's conquest of Babylon differed greatly from the brutal conquests typical of the ancient world. He entered the city not as a ruthless conqueror, but as a liberator. He freed the Jews who had been held captive in Babylon for decades, allowing them to return to their homeland. He showed respect for Babylonian gods and customs, even participating in local religious rituals. This policy of tolerance and respect for conquered peoples was unheard of in the ancient world, and it would become a hallmark of Cyrus's reign and a key to the Achaemenid Empire's longevity. One of Cyrus's most significant acts was the issuance of the Edict of Restoration in 538 BCE. This edict, recorded on a clay cylinder known as the Cyrus Cylinder, declared that the Jewish exiles in Babylon were free to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple. This act of remarkable religious tolerance marked a turning point in Jewish history. It allowed the Jewish people to return to their ancestral homeland and re-establish their religious practices after decades of exile. The Cyrus Cylinder, discovered in the ruins of Babylon in the 19th century, is often hailed as the first charter of human rights. While modern interpretations of human rights differ from those of the ancient world, the Cyrus Cylinder reflects a remarkable degree of religious and cultural tolerance for its time. It allowed for the restoration of indigenous cults and practices in conquered territories, a stark contrast to the forced religious conversions common in empire building. Cyrus's reign was marked by a series of administrative reforms that helped to centralize and stabilize his vast empire. He established a system of satrapies, or provinces, each ruled by a governor known as a satrap. These satraps were responsible for collecting taxes, maintaining order, and administering justice within their provinces. To ensure the loyalty of his satraps, many of whom were chosen from the ranks of conquered peoples, Cyrus implemented a sophisticated system of checks and balances. Royal inspectors, known as the eyes and ears of the king, travelled throughout the empire, reporting back to Cyrus on the conduct of his officials. Cyrus also invested heavily in infrastructure, building roads, canals, and a postal system that connected the far-flung corners of his empire. The royal road, stretching from Susa in Persia to Sardis in Lydia, facilitated trade and communication, further unifying the empire. He recognized that a well-connected empire was a more prosperous and easier to govern empire. His policies fostered a period of unprecedented economic and cultural exchange between the different parts of the Achaemenid world. After decades of rule and having established one of the largest and most sophisticated empires the world had seen, Cyrus died in 530 BCE. The circumstances surrounding his death remain a subject of debate among historians. Regardless of the circumstances, his death marked the end of an era. He left behind a vast and prosperous empire that stretched from the Aegean Sea to the Indus River. Cyrus's son, Cambyses II, succeeded him to the throne. Though Cambyses continued his father's legacy, he lacked his vision and talent for administration. Cyrus's legacy loomed large over the Achaemenid Empire. The most famous account of Cyrus's death comes from the Greek historian Herodotus. He writes that Cyrus met his end while campaigning against the Massagetai, a fierce nomadic tribe. According to Herodotus, the Massagetai queen, Tomyris, sought to avoid war, but Cyrus ignored her pleas. In the ensuing battle, Tomyris rallied her warriors and led them to a crushing victory, killing Cyrus. To avenge her son's death, Tomyris had Cyrus's severed head dipped in a wineskin filled with blood. While Herodotus's account is vivid, many historians question its accuracy. They point to inconsistencies and the tendency of ancient historians to embellish their stories. Other sources, like the Babylonian Chronicle and Xenophon, suggest Cyrus died peacefully in Persia. The mystery surrounding Cyrus's death adds to his legend, fascinating historians and enthusiasts alike. Cyrus the Great's legacy extends far beyond the boundaries of his vast empire. He is remembered not only as a brilliant military strategist and empire builder, but also as a benevolent ruler who respected the cultures and religions of the people he conquered. His policies of religious tolerance and his focus on infrastructure and administration set the stage for the Achaemenid Empire to flourish for over 2 centuries, making it the largest and most successful empire the world had yet seen. Centuries after his death, Cyrus continued to be revered as an ideal ruler, not only by Persians, but also by Greeks and Romans. His tomb at Pasargadae, his capital city, became a place of pilgrimage. Alexander the Great, who conquered the Achaemenid Empire in the 4th century BCE, was said to have been moved by the simplicity and grandeur of Cyrus's tomb. He ordered his architects to repair it, recognizing the enduring impact of Cyrus's legacy. Today, Cyrus the Great's legacy continues to resonate. His story is a reminder that empires can be built not just through brute force, but also through respect, tolerance, and wise governance. His example continues to inspire leaders and reformers around the world who see in him a model for building a more just and compassionate world. In Iran, Cyrus is a national icon, a symbol of Iranian identity, and a reminder of the country's rich and ancient history. Cyrus the Great's story is a testament to the enduring power of ideas. Even though his empire crumbled centuries ago, his vision of a world united under a common banner of justice and tolerance continues to resonate. In a world often torn apart by conflict and division, Cyrus's legacy offers a timeless message of hope and a blueprint for a more harmonious future. Thank you so much for watching this episode of History Uncovered. I hope you enjoyed diving into the past with us. If you liked what you saw and want to stay updated on all things history, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Your support helps us keep bringing you more fascinating stories from history. See you in the next video.